So let me show you how to use it. Notice this is a filled out sample of that. Okay, here's the agenda. You'll notice that we're going to discuss birthdays, kudos, and the plan for the 4th of July weekend, the closure and the announcements that we're going to be making. Here's the items that we assigned from our last meeting. And notice this was assigned to Julie. This one, whatever it says, this one was assigned to Julie. This one was assigned to Julie. Poor Julie. This one was assigned to Julie. This one's assigned to Julie. And Andy doesn't do much around here, but that's right. We assigned to Andy. How can you tell quickly what was assigned to whom?
The dots.
The dots. And the dots lead to what on the right?
Their name, the person it was assigned to.
That's right. Resist the temptation of doing this. Ready? Okay. Julie is going to start working on February. Why do we want to avoid that? Like that. Why do I discourage people to not do that right there?
Because the name kind of gets mixed into the task.
Exactly right.
If you really don't concentrate and read it thoroughly, you might look over Julie's name.
Exactly. You don't bury the importance. So notice what you do is front end, tell me what the topic is, then a one-line action, and then who it's assigned to. Basic structure. It's basically this, okay? Basically the topic, the action item of what's next, and then assign it to the person. That makes it easy for everyone to be accountable to know exactly what they were doing, what they said they were going to do. Do not go over, do not do this, okay? Do not do like what I mentioned, what I did earlier, okay? Okay, what did you just do by doing that? Is anybody going to do any of that?
No, it's very cluttered and you can't really tell who is assigned to what task or what's going on.
Correct. So watch, ready? What you do is you do this topic, right? All right, tell me about that. Is that clear?
Very.
Who's responsible for this?
The different tasks or the?
Yeah, the different tasks. Who's responsible for this one?
Yeah, Julie. It shows exactly who's responsible for each task at the end of the task.
And then who's supposed to do this?
All.
That's right. All is understood, everyone at this meeting. And then call a meeting with Corey and review, come back to this meeting to report. So if next meeting, Julie and Corey aren't ready, something fell apart right here. Or you can say this, come back on 7:15 meeting to report. We got 2 weeks to work on this. One-liners with ... and you clarify what was the notes. And I noticed all of you stayed within one-liners, ... assigned one-liners. And this is how you capture that. All right. So let's move forward. Watch. Then top projects. These are the projects that we're going to discuss. Once we cover all this, we're going to then tackle these topics because these are heavy, big topics. And then with the last 15 minutes of the meeting, we're going to talk about new items that all of you proposed. Now, the difference here is we didn't use dots because dots means assignment. What does parentheses mean? It means that Julie's the one that put this item for discussion. So, hey, Julie, what do you want to talk about? Andy, what do you want to talk about? So then you always leave a blank one for somebody else to enter an item here. And then folks are responsible to then put items here. And you want to train everybody to make sure that we fill up new business items on things we've got to discuss. If this dries out, take the time to fill it up because then your meeting's going to fall apart if you don't have items to discuss in top projects and new business. Top projects and new business is what feeds into items assigned, okay? So as you talk, let's say that we do get to this right here. All right, it's time to talk about this. Good. All right, so Julie brought up her issue and we realized, okay, this needs to be assigned. You take it out of new business, you have the discussion, put it in here, assignments. I'll say, okay, get with the commissioner and report to underwrite. And that's going to be Tony, and he's going to get with Gerald. Okay, good. So we took it out of new business, put it in assignments. All right, good. Andy, what are we going to talk about that? All right, we talked about it for a while. All right, good discussion. All right, so that means we just decided that we're then going to get the reports back to the executive team to review, report in 2 weeks, and that's going to be assigned to Stephanie. Okay, perfect. All right, then we covered this item. Boom, we have the discussion. We put it up there. Good. We covered everything. All right, guys, 3 minutes before the end of the meeting. Woohoo! before we head out, let's make sure we cover next week's. What are we going to cover in next week's new business items? What are we going to cover in 2 weeks? What are the things that we put on here? All right, perfect. Boom. Okay. So the agenda quickly becomes the notes for the next meeting. All right. And then that's this template, which is the same. I'm just giving you different samples of what it looks like next. All right. So now I'm going to send the notes out to everybody. So the notes went out. See, first of all, let me show you this. At the very top, it says agenda, but then while we change it, it becomes notes. So it now says June 18 notes. Okay. And then the report this should say 2, not 1. Sorry about that. I apologize. Okay. So now when I read the notes, it tells me, okay, we discussed this during items assigned. We discussed all this. We did this. We reported back. And so you put on there, it's done. So that means this is going to come off the next agenda. Then this item here, another one that got done. All right. So top projects. Let's see what happened. We started with several top projects, but I see what happened. These top projects became items assigned. And then let's see the agenda. The agenda, we had some items here under the original agenda had these items here. I'm going to remove those. Okay, let's put those back. All right, these were the original items of the agenda in the new business section. So then when I go to the notes, yep, we all cleared them up, and here they are. Okay, and then we fixed what the parking lot issues. All right, perfect. That's what the notes were. All right, so the notes go out and everyone gets on it because that's what we discussed. All right, then 2-3 days before the meeting, the agenda gets prepared, and notice it's the same thing. It's a copy of everything, but notice this one's not going to show up because we did it. So we're going to remove that. This one is not going to show up because we removed that. This one is not going to show up because we removed that. This one, we added a new top project that we need to discuss because LaShawn brought this to show up. And then new business, notice, where did this come from? The new business here came from what we said in the notes we were going to talk about next week. So we moved this up. We moved it up. All right. And there it is. That's the agenda. All right. And so then we can delete this. And so things move up as we table them for the following weeks, and then we move them up. And so, all right, let's see. Let's go ahead and remove all the yellow. And the yellow is just for me to show it to you. I don't normally work with yellows for color coding. All right. So there's my agenda. And then we don't really have a whole lot of other new announcements. So there you go. That's my agenda. So notice, watch. This agenda started on June 18th. The notes is the next document, it's the notes of June 18th. Then the next document is the agenda for June 25th. You guys see the progression? And the easiest way to do this is you start like this. You start with agenda, then you create your notes. So go to File, Save As, or make a copy, and give it a name. So here's where you would change the name. The naming is important. Okay, so you create the notes. Then when you create the notes, you send the notes out, and then to create the following agenda, you go to File, make a copy, or Save As, and give it the date for that agenda. The easiest way to do that is as follows. Let me show you. The branch office is branch, and let's say it's Segan. Okay, team meeting 2024. 0618 agenda. All right, that's the name of the file. You start your meeting, and right before the meeting, you create your notes because you are going to edit the note document. So you go to File, Save As, or make a copy of, and what do? You simply change the back of it, and you call it Notes. And then you start your meeting. While you have your meeting, you're creating the notes on this document. Those notes go out. Perfect. The notes went out to everybody. Now we need to create the next week's agenda. So you go to File, Save As, or make a copy, and then you keep everything the same, and you say, okay, well, next week is going to be the 25th. Then you change it to agenda, and then send everybody the link to that, and then change this over here, and then keep an agenda. What you're trying to avoid is the recreating of new files over and over and over again and having to retype or copy paste. You simply bring it from one to the other to the other. Here, it's very normal for everybody to go, man, we got to keep up with all these. So what you do is you create a Launchpad document. Here's the date. You put in the agenda link here. Then you put the notes link here. Then you put for the following week, again, it was here, and you give everybody in your team the link to this Launchpad. And everyone only has to keep up with this Launchpad document. And this Launchpad document is the one that allows for you to say, all right, everybody, go to the notes have been updated, go to the Launchpad, they click on that, they see the agenda. They click on that, they see the notes. And you don't get ahead. You simply just watch. When you create the first agenda, you put it here. Okay, after the meeting, you put it here. Then after the meeting, to prepare for that agenda, you put it here. You have the meeting. Then after the meeting, you put the notes here, the links here. You send the agenda for the next, you put it here. You have the meeting. You're putting the links on each one of these so that folks know where to find it instead of having to keep up with all these links in all these different places. All they have to remember is this Launchpad. If I were to show you all these different documents and then you have nowhere to organize it, it becomes very difficult to have for everybody to keep up with the link for this document, the link for that document. You notice that I just showed you how to create notes and agendas, notes and agendas, notes and agendas. That's a very common necessity when you're dealing with a team meeting that has 4 or 5 people and y'all are covering a lot of things in case you need to go back and look at what was assigned 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. In anything smaller, I don't do all this. What I do is this. It's a one-on-one with Anthony. I don't create notes and agendas for my one-on-one with Anthony. I use the same document. And we only have one document, and that one document, we just keep updating it as we go. So all we have to keep up is that one document. Gerald and I have a one-on-one. We just have one document and we update it. And we know that's our notes and agenda. And we just keep up with that one document. It has one link and we move things forward together. When it becomes a group, that's when you need to start moving into creating different documents and use a Launchpad, because there's a lot of people involved and a lot of things you might need to go back to.
It definitely kind of puts it a little better perspective for me with following those agendas, because I've seen the agendas before, but this is the first that I recall actually seeing it broke down like it was today.
Try this out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. See y'all. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. Great job making it through this. Go to the next module. Let's get moving to the next levels. Good luck. And again, thank you for joining the program. Honored to help you.